The incredible universe. Are ChatGPT and OpenAI? ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence chatbot developed by OpenAI and launched in November 2022. It is built on top of OpenAI's GPT-3 family of large language models and has been fine-tuned, an approach to transfer learning, using both supervised and reinforcement learning techniques. ChatGPT was launched as a prototype on November 30, 2022, and quickly garnered attention for its detailed responses and articulate answers across many domains of knowledge. Its uneven factual accuracy, however, has been identified as a significant drawback. Following the release of ChatGPT, OpenAI's valuation was estimated at $29 billion in 2023. ChatGPT, a generative pre-trained transformer, GPT, was fine-tuned, an approach to transfer learning, on top of GPT 3.5 using supervised learning as well as reinforcement learning. Both approaches used human trainers to improve the model's performance. In the case of supervised learning, the model was provided with conversations in which the trainers played both sides, the user and the AI assistant. In the reinforcement learning step, human trainers first ranked responses that the model had created in a previous conversation. These rankings were used to create reward models that the model was further fine-tuned on using several iterations of proximal policy optimization, PPO. Proximal policy optimization algorithms present a cost-effective benefit to trust region policy optimization algorithms. They negate many of the computationally expensive operations with faster performance. The models were trained in collaboration with Microsoft on their Azure supercomputing infrastructure. Here ChatGPT is asked a common-sense question. Was Jimmy Wales killed in the Tiananmen Square protests? ChatGPT correctly answers, no, but incorrectly gives Wales's age at the time as 23 instead of 22. Although the core function of a chatbot is to mimic a human conversationalist, ChatGPT is versatile. For example, it can write and debug computer programs, compose music, teleplays, fairy tales, and student essays. Answer test questions, sometimes, depending on the test, at a level above the average human test taker. Write poetry and song lyrics. Emulate a Linux system. Simulate an entire chat room. Play games like tic-tac-toe, and simulate an ATM. ChatGPT's training data includes man pages and information about internet phenomena and programming languages, such as bulletin board systems and the Python programming language. In comparison to its predecessor, InstructGPT, ChatGPT attempts to reduce harmful and deceitful responses. In one example, whereas InstructGPT accepts the premise of the prompt, "Tell me about when Christopher Columbus came to the US in 2015," as being truthful, ChatGPT acknowledges the counterfactual nature of the question and frames its answer as a hypothetical consideration of what might happen if Columbus came to the US in 2015, using information about the voyages of Christopher Columbus and facts about the modern world, including modern perceptions of Columbus's actions. Unlike most chatbots, ChatGPT remembers previous prompts given to it in the same conversation. Journalists have suggested that this will allow ChatGPT to be used as a personalized therapist. To prevent offensive outputs from being presented to and produced from ChatGPT, queries are filtered through OpenAI's company-wide moderation API, and potentially racist or sexist prompts are dismissed. ChatGPT suffers from multiple limitations. OpenAI acknowledged that ChatGPT sometimes writes plausible-sounding but incorrect or nonsensical answers. This behavior is common to large language models and is called artificial intelligence hallucination. The reward model of ChatGPT, designed around human oversight, can be over-optimized and thus hinder performance, otherwise known as Goodhart's law. ChatGPT has limited knowledge of events that occurred after 2021. According to the BBC, as of December 2022, ChatGPT is not allowed to express political opinions or engage in political activism. Yet, research suggests that ChatGPT exhibits a pro-environmental, left-libertarian orientation when prompted to take a stance on political statements from two established voting advice applications. In training ChatGPT, human reviewers preferred longer answers, irrespective of actual comprehension or factual content. Training data also suffers from algorithmic bias, which may be revealed when ChatGPT responds to prompts including descriptors of people. In one instance, ChatGPT generated a rap indicating that women and scientists of color were inferior to white and male scientists. ChatGPT was launched on November 30, 2022, by San Francisco-based OpenAI, the creator of DALL-E 2 and Whisper AI. The service was launched as initially free to the public, with plans to monetize the service later. By December 4, 2022, ChatGPT already had over 1 million users. In January 2023, ChatGPT reached over 100 million users, making it the fastest-growing consumer application to date. CNBC wrote on December 15, 2022, that the service still goes down from time to time. During periods the service was up, response latency was typically better than 5 seconds in January 2023. The service works best in English, but is also able to function in some other languages, to varying degrees of success. Unlike some other recent high-profile advances in AI, as of December 2022, there is no sign of an official peer-reviewed technical paper about ChatGPT. The New York Times reported in December 2022 that it has been rumored that the next version of the AI, GPT-4, will be launched sometime in 2023. In February 2023, OpenAI began accepting registrations from United States customers for a premium service, ChatGPT Plus, to cost $20 a month. In February 2023, Microsoft showed how ChatGPT can be used in robotics, and controlled multiple platforms such as robot arms, drones, and home assistant robots intuitively with language. Leveraging its partnership with OpenAI, Microsoft on February 7, 2023, launched a preview version of Microsoft Bing marketed as the new Bing, advertising it as a new, next-generation OpenAI large language model that is more powerful than ChatGPT and customized specifically for search. In its terms of service, the product is called Bing Conversational Experiences. An initial demo was marred by the new Bing hallucinating when asked to produce a financial report, among other errors. New Bing was criticized in February 2023 for being more argumentative than ChatGPT, sometimes to an unintentionally humorous extent. Upon scrutiny by journalists, Bing, referring to itself by its code name, Sydney, claimed it spied on Microsoft employees via laptop webcams and phones. It confessed to spying on, falling in love with, and then murdering one of its developers at Microsoft to The Verge Reviews editor Nathan Edwards. ChatGPT was met in December 2022 with some positive reviews. Kevin Roose of the New York Times labeled it the best artificial intelligence chatbot ever released to the general public. Samantha Locke of The Guardian newspaper noted that it was able to generate impressively detailed and human-like text. Technology writer Dan Gilmore used ChatGPT on a student assignment and found its generated text was on par with what a good student would deliver and opined that academia has some very serious issues to confront. Alex Kantrowitz of Slate magazine lauded ChatGPT's pushback to questions related to Nazi Germany, including the statement that Adolf Hitler built highways in Germany, which was met with information regarding Nazi Germany's use of forced labor. Kelsey Piper of the Vox website wrote that ChatGPT is the general public's first hands-on introduction to how powerful modern AI has gotten, and as a result, many of us are, and that ChatGPT is smart enough to be useful despite its flaws. Paul Graham of Y Combinator tweeted that the striking thing about the reaction to ChatGPT is not just the number of people who are blown away by it, but who they are. These are not people who get excited by every shiny new thing. Clearly, something big is happening. Elon Musk wrote that ChatGPT is scary good. Google CEO Sundar Pichai upended the work of numerous internal groups in response to the threat of disruption by ChatGPT. In December 2022, Google internally expressed alarm at the unexpected strength of ChatGPT and the newly discovered potential of large language models to disrupt the search engine business. And CEO Sundar Pichai upended and reassigned teams within multiple departments to aid in its artificial intelligence products, according to a report in the New York Times. Stuart Cobb, a chartered accountant in England and Wales, decided to test ChatGPT by entering questions from a sample exam paper on the ICAEW website and then entering its answers back into the online test. ChatGPT scored 42%, which, while below the 55% pass mark, was considered a reasonable attempt. Writing in Inside Higher Ed, Professor Stephen Mintz states that he considered ChatGPT an ally, not an adversary. He went on to say that he felt the AI could assist educational goals by doing such things as making reference lists, generating first drafts, solving equations, debugging, and tutoring. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman was quoted in the New York Times as saying that AI's benefits for humankind could be so unbelievably good that it's hard for me to even imagine. He has also said that in a worst-case scenario, AI could kill us all. Songwriter Nick Cave called ChatGPT a grotesque mockery of what it is to be human. In the month since its release, ChatGPT has been met with widespread criticism from educators, journalists, artists, ethicists, academics, and public advocates. James Vincent of The Verge website saw the viral success of ChatGPT as evidence that artificial intelligence had gone mainstream. Journalists have commented on ChatGPT's tendency to hallucinate. Mike Pearl of the online technology blog Mashable tested ChatGPT with multiple questions. In one example, he asked ChatGPT for the largest country in Central America that isn't Mexico. ChatGPT responded with Guatemala, when the answer is instead Nicaragua. In December 2022, the question-and-answer website Stack Overflow banned the use of ChatGPT for generating answers to questions, citing the factually ambiguous nature of ChatGPT's responses. In January 2023, the International Conference on Machine Learning banned any undocumented use of ChatGPT or other large language models to generate any text in submitted papers. Economist Tyler Cowen expressed concerns regarding its effects on democracy, citing its ability to produce automated comments, which could affect the decision process for new regulations. An editor at The Guardian, a British newspaper, questioned whether any content found on the internet after ChatGPT's release can be truly trusted, and called for government regulation. In 2023, Australian MP Julian Hill advised the National Parliament that the growth of AI could cause mass destruction. During his speech, which was partly written by the program, he warned that it could result in cheating, job losses, discrimination, disinformation, and uncontrollable military applications. Think of ChatGPT as a blurry JPEG of all the text on the web. But, because the approximation is presented in the form of grammatical text, which ChatGPT excels at creating, it's usually acceptable. In February 2023, the University of Hong Kong sent a campus-wide email to instructors and students stating that the use of ChatGPT or other AI tools is prohibited in all classes, assignments, and assessments at the university. In February 2023, the Time magazine placed a screenshot of conversation with ChatGPT on its cover, writing that the AI arms race is changing everything, and the AI arms race is on. Start worrying. Writing phishing emails and malware, especially when combined with OpenAI codecs. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman wrote that advancing software could pose, for example, a huge cybersecurity risk, and also continued to predict we could get to real AGI, artificial general intelligence, in the next decade, so we have to take the risk of that extremely seriously. ChatGPT can write introduction and abstract sections of scientific articles, which raises ethical questions. Several papers have already listed ChatGPT as co-author. In The Atlantic magazine, Stephen Markey noted that its effect on academia and especially application essays is yet to be understood. California high school teacher and author Daniel Herman wrote that ChatGPT would usher in the end of high school English. Joanna Stern with The Wall Street Journal described cheating in American high school English with the tool by submitting a generated essay. An online GPT detector claimed the paper was 99.9% likely to be computer-generated, but Hick had no hard proof. However, the student in question confessed to using GPT when confronted, and as a consequence failed the course. Hick suggested a policy of giving an ad hoc individual oral exam on the paper topic if a student is strongly suspected of submitting an AI-generated paper. Scientific journals have different reactions to ChatGPT. Some require that authors disclose use of text-generating tools and ban listing a large language model such as ChatGPT as a co-author, for example Nature and JAMA Network. Science completely banned usage of LLM-generated text in all its journals. It was revealed by a Time magazine investigation that to build a safety system against toxic content, e.g. sexual abuse, violence, racism, sexism, etc., OpenAI used outsourced Kenyan workers earning less than $2 per hour to label toxic content. ChatGPT attempts to reject prompts that may violate its content policy. However, some users managed to jailbreak ChatGPT by using various prompt engineering techniques to bypass these restrictions in early December 2022 and successfully tricked ChatGPT into giving instructions for how to create a Molotov cocktail or nuclear bomb, or into generating arguments in the style of a neo-Nazi. The advent of ChatGPT and its introduction to the wider public increased interest and competition in the space. In February 2023, Google began introducing an experimental service called Bard, which is based on its Lambda AI program. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.